I watched the king die, but his grave was empty the next morning. That's how it started. And no matter how many times I think about it, I still get chills. My name is Ton. I grew up in a quiet village in Nigeria called Ajiri. It was the kind of place where nothing much happened until the king changed. King Oba Ode was once loved. He helped the poor, listened to the people, and walked through the market like everyone else. But one day, something changed in him. No one knew what happened, but his heart went dark. He started punishing people for no reason. If you didn't bow low enough, he'd throw you in the village cell. If your child cried too loud near the palace, he'd fine your whole family. He even banned drumming at night, which was part of our tradition. Then he started taking people. At first, it was just people who disobeyed him. Then it was the sick, the old, even young girls. They'd go to the palace and never come back. We whispered about it, but no one was brave enough to speak loud. Fear hung over the village like a dark cloud. One night, something strange happened. An old woman, blind in both eyes, walked straight into the palace yard. She wore red cloth and held a small goat's skull in her hand. I remember, because I was nearby, helping clean the palace steps. I froze when I saw her. She pointed at the king's window and said, loud and clear, "You have taken more than you gave. The spirits you disrespected have woken up. You will suffer as others have suffered." The guards laughed at her. She didn't flinch. She turned and walked back into the forest. 3 days later, the king fell ill. Doctors came. Priests prayed. Nothing worked. He screamed at night. He said he saw shadows crawling on his walls. He begged for forgiveness, but it was too late. After 5 days, he died. Just like that. We buried him with all the royal rites. His grave was deep, the tomb sealed. But the next morning, the grave was open and empty. No one saw who did it. The guards swore they heard nothing. The ground around the grave was dry, not a single footprint. Just the king's crown, lying beside the hole. That day, the villagers started to leave Ajiri. The palace was left to rot. No one wanted to take the crown. It stayed there for weeks before the wind carried it away. Or maybe something else did. A year passed, then 2. The village was nearly abandoned. Then one night, I heard it. Drums. Soft at first, but growing louder. A steady, haunting rhythm, coming from the palace. I told myself I was imagining it. But when I stepped outside, I wasn't alone. The few villagers left were outside too, staring at the palace ruins. Smoke curled from the broken windows. The gates creaked, though no wind was blowing. And then, we saw him. A tall figure stood on the roof of the palace, wearing the king's robes. But the face was wrong. It was stretched too wide, the mouth open like it was screaming, but no sound came out. And then, it moved. Slowly, turning its head to look directly at us. The drum stopped. And in that silence, we ran. I never looked back. I never returned to Ajiri. But some nights, I still hear the drums. And worse, sometimes, I wake up with dirt under my fingernails.